Search the warrior.
Make for the duck. Save it. I must be on my way.
Until next we meet.
Good to see you.
This will make a fine space for my work, Eivor. Thank you.
Well, if your work benefits us, I will see that you keep it, for as long as you live among us.
I believe it will, for we have common cause against our enemy. They have dug their claws deep into England. Eradicate them where they are strongest, and the alliances you seek will be far easier to come by. In London, they now operate without restraint. If you were to eradicate them, the city would be in your debt.
I will talk with Ranri about your idea. Get her thoughts.
Good. Yet, before you do, there is something else. A gift I wish to share.
A gift?
I cannot show you here. Will you walk with me?
I will. Lead on. I hear heaviness to your breathing, Hytham. Does your wound still trouble you?
It does, I'm afraid. There is a pain in my chest for which I have no remedy.
Rest easy, then. So long as your mind stays sharp, you will recover.
Of course. Though I am reluctant to displease my mentor.
You would risk your health and your life to please Basin. That I do not understand.
I should not expect you do. When we first arrived, I noted a shadow of suspicion in your eyes. A doubt. A wariness.
Is that a question?
No. Only an observation.
Are you well enough to steer this boat?
I am. Have no worry. It is only prolonged stresses that exhaust me. My energy runs low rather quickly.
And what is this gift you wish to give me?
It will not come from me. It is a gift you must give yourself.
More riddles. What fun you are.
Let me say it another way. My gift is not for giving or taking. It is a way of living.
Still no clearer.
It is a thing better demonstrated than described.
And I will wait.
Forgive my jest. This gift we call a leap of faith. It is one of our Brotherhood's most sacred rites. It is not a tool we use against our enemies, but an act we embrace to strengthen our resolve. Like your meditation, it centers our minds, steadies our hands, and purges fear from our hearts. And more practically, it aids our movements, in flight or in stealth.
You call it a leap, and we are climbing a rather steep hill.
There it is again, the shadow of a doubt. Nearly there. Our destination is there.
I suspect you mean to throw me from this cliff, is that it? Please tell me if I'm near the mark.
And spoil the surprise? To perform the leap of faith, you must give yourself over to something greater.
The gods?
Yourself. Embrace the hope that death will not come before you are prepared to meet it. Believe this, and you will fear nothing.
Our deaths are prefigured, weaved into the fabric of the world, To fear this would be a waste of worry and tears.
Good. Then your mind is already attuned to my lesson. I will leap first. On my word, you must follow. Lean into your faith, into your strength, and take flight.
You want me to jump? From here?
Yes.
I would sooner grow wings and fly away. Thank you for the lesson, but...
Wait! And watch!
Hytham! Hytham! Pig-headed fool! Are you injured?
You see? My faith grew stronger than my fear!
And that loam cushioned your fall.
Eivor! I have not seen this side of you before! Do not feed your fear, conquer it!
I've seen my death in a vision. It was not here. Not today. Yeah!
A perfect fall! And how did it feel?
You spoke true. It was madness and vigor. A purging of fear. A gift I give myself. I see that now. Thank you for showing me the way.
Of course. And thank you, Eivor, for hearing me out.
You called this leap of faith a sacred rite. Do all Hidden Ones practice this same ritual?
As far as I know, it is a rite of initiation that dates back to just before the birth of the Christian Jesus.
Are you hoping to initiate me?
I might try if I believed you would join, but that is not my purpose in England. Basim and I are hunting larger prey.
The Order of Ancients.
Yes. You remember the medallion you took from Kjotve's body? That is their symbol. They are a plague, one we hope to purge from this world. Like us, they act in secret. But their aim is to rule the world, not free it from unnatural fetters.
The desire to rule is not unique to this order. Sigurd and I want the same. A land to call our own, and the honor that comes with it.
Do not compare yourself to such people. The Order has no honor, no principles, no humanity. Yet they sit on a great many of England's thrones. If you seek to pacify England for the safety of your clan...
Then it may be in my interest to give you aid. I understand.
You desire alliances. We seek to rid England of its deepening rot. Where these hopes meet, our cause does too. You may think this land ruled by harmless jarls and bumbling thanes. Yet look more closely, and you will find a deeper threat. The Order's invisible hand touches all. It shapes everything, instilling its poison into every level of society. From the lowliest fishmonger to the richest merchants, from wealthy thanes to useless kings, the Order has corrupted all. Basim has given me one task here. To locate and eliminate the Order of Ancients in England, in whatever dark corners they reside. If we work together towards this end, it will benefit us both. You will have greater influence over the kingdoms of England.
And you will have more medallions to count.
Exactly. You should begin in London. I have credible reports that the Order is working now to seize the city.
I will speak with Randvi about this.
And while you are there, be on the lookout for our symbol. Centuries ago, the Hidden Ones had bureaus built around England. There were 6, I believe. If you can find them, search them well for documents bearing the same symbol. It will greatly aid my studies.
I will. Thank you, Hytham, for all of this. Be my eyes, Sunan.
Admitted, Alvis. I am the superior wordsmith.
Admit to a falsehood? I would sooner square a circle.
What is happening here?
Holger wishes to prove that flighting is a lesser art. I am correcting him.
It is unrefined, unpalatable, unpleasant. I could beat you without a lick of practice.
That is not so, you thick-headed... Eivor, care to judge a flighting?
I would happily judge, brothers. Show me what you have.
I will begin. There's a skin-deep resemblance twixt Holger and me. For inside, he's just hot air and bad poetry. Well, in all but our talent, we're certainly twins. It should be no surprise to see which of us wins.
Not bad. Now hear this. You see, flighting is simple, so hearken to me. Look, anyone can do it. It's so easy. But the true challenge in life is to do something more. Like writing sagas, painting pictures, and lore. Yes, lore. There. What do you think, Eivor?
Alvis is the clear winner, Holger.
I should have expected no less from you, Eivor. You have no ear for these things. A pity.
Thank you, Eivor, for acknowledging the natural order.
A message has come.
Word of our growing settlement has reached outside ears, so have a look around. You may see a few new faces.
I want to see the Alliance map. Tell me about Grantebridgeshire.
A force of Danes, called the Summer Army by the Saxons, is camped north of Grantebridge, at some ruins across the river. We should curry favor with their leaders, Guthrum and Soma, if we hope to win their trust and allegiance. My scouts did not meet them in person, so I can say little for the state of their army. Consider this a starting point.
I will leave right away.
Good. And may the blessings of Freya follow. You look well.
Down or grief!
To the Swan Road! Cast about this land, my friend. Hold on. Randvi mentioned this place. The last known location of the Summer Army. Sunan, guide me. Hail! What has happened here?
Who is asking?
Eivor, of the Raven clan. Did you and your men fail to take the village?
No. No, we had it for a time. It was nothing but a cluster of wattle and daub huts when we came. We made it lively. Grantebridge was a thriving hub of trade and song under the care of Soma Ayalskona. But the Saxons took it back. They appeared within the city as if rising from the shadows and drove us out.
They just appeared in the city.
It was like they burst out of the center of the city itself, setting aflame everything in their path, shouting some nonsense about an ancient order of warriors. By the time I saw the fires, too many of us were killed or captured. Our Jarlskoma, Summa, she bellowed a retreat and we took refuge in the ruins. But in the chaos we were separated. She and the bulk of our forces fled northeast into the swamps. I'd follow if we were fit to. We need her iron fist.
I can find Soma. Be ready when we return.
She'll be deep in the fog of the Fenlands by now. Find her longship. That's your best bet.
Looks like Ragnarok itself came for Grantebridge.
A great battle raged nearby. Hold course. We'll see what else lies within the fog.
Let's go, Viking!
Keep the rat guessing.
Throw you! You're mine!
Watch my back!
We walk together!
get back to the ship!
My thanks to cut us loose. Hurry.
Soma cannot be far. I should have a look around. Show me.
Eivor! Gott að sjá þig!
Hey, cut that out!
Hush now.
There. A beached longship. Dane markings. Is your Jarl's Kona nearby?
Not here. Soma dragged the Saxons east from her longship to tire them out and lose them in the fog.
This was a fine longship, fit for a chief. It must belong to Soma. Go, my eyes.
Thor lends me strength.
Vengeance is ours!
Your life ends now!
Take him to the shelter for warmth. Slap some moss in that gash, and wrap it well. Eggle, look at me. Remember the boars you felled, our first day in England? Hold his arms. 9. Large and fat. Fed us for a week.
Yeah.
You'll be chasing more in a month, my friend. You come like a Valkyrie out of the fog. We have no dead to give you.
You must be Soma.
Let's talk elsewhere. Give them a chance to rest.
Quite a hit you took. How many were lost?
It's kind of you to ask, but with so much blood in the water and death on the air, I'd know your name and purpose first.
Eivor of the Raven clan. I came for you, looking for a friend and ally.
I see. I'm Soma, Lord of Grantebridge. Though it seems an order of lunatics wishes to strip me of that title.
The Order of the Ancients?
Sounds right. The Saxon called Wigmund is one of them. He robbed me of my city, forced us into these swamps. I've rallied some of my soldiers, but my 3 advisors are missing. If we hope to retake Grantebridge, I'll need them at my side.
Tell me about them.
They are my best, my inner circle. Birna, Galin, Liv. We may as well be of the same blood.
If I can reunite them and we retake your city, can I call you a friend and ally?
If you can do all that, you can call me whatever you want.
What happened to Grantebridge?
The elder man Wigmund seized it from us. I'm not sure how he managed, but he will not keep it. Not for long. He has supporters outside the city, but this attack seemed to come from inside the walls. From the heart of Grantebridge.
Where's this Wigmund? What does he want?
He's a flailing elderman under the old king. A bitter man digging his fingernails into Grantebridge, just to say he can. He's made many attempts to unseat me before. This time he managed a trick.
Let's find your advisors.
Agreed. We'll look for signs of their longboats along the river. And if we are swift, we will find them before the wolves do. The fog is more hindrance than hiding place now. Let's light the way back.
Go. Zulin. Burn long and hut, bright wolf of the branch, and guide Soma's gilded warriors home.
I know what you must think.
What must I think?
That it's foolish to search the Fenlands for so few people.
You told me the soldiers you lost were your best. Vital to retaking the city. Do you think it's foolish?
Not at all.
Then why would I?
You have the look of one who does well with solitude. You're alone, a wanderer. It may be you think of soldiers as war fodder, and little else. But these warriors are more than a blade and shield. They are my family, nothing short. I've lost a city this week. I will not lose them too.
I understand. And if your people yet live, we'll find them.
come to, the Lord is my strength.
Free me. I'm no
Lawrence,
use
be
here.
kind.
What would the wind come from my
Thank you.
sails? If you would be so kind. I've had quite the day.
Look through the fog, Leave. Follow the beacon. Our camp is at its base. We'll return when we've found the others.
We'll head straight to the camp and see that everyone's shipshape when you return.
Leif is a prim and proper man, isn't he?
He lives by a strict code of honor, more than most. And builds the best longships I've ever sailed. They're the reason we escaped Grantebridge alive. He's not the strongest man, but he's wise and canny, and hard to pin down. Like a fish wriggling free of a net.
What do you see, Sunan? Saxons surrounding that old hut. There may be Danes trapped inside.
That's right! Tire yourself out! Weak little kittens. Can't even open one barricaded door!
You'll rot in hell when we're done with you.
You'll suck my toes when I'm standing on your head!
That's Birna, for sure. If my head was in a bucket of water, I'd still know.
No peace around here.
What's that about?
Barricaded within. Protect London, men.
Soma! I knew I heard someone sweeping the hearth outside. We handle it just fine. Thinking of starting a new town, in fact. This house being our first.
Birna, I pitched a camp nearby, under a burning beacon. We'll meet you there when I've found the others.
Thank you, Soma. And you as well, Sunbeam. We'll head to the camp now. I'll have everyone singing songs and dancing jigs by the time you get back.
Vienna is like a grapevine, curly and hard to predict, while leaf is like... Vienna is like a grapevine, curly and hard to predict, while leaf is like a woodbeam, sturdy, straightforward.
Birna has a genius for tactics, sees well ahead of things. Leaf deals with what's just there before him, practical in all ways. Both have helped me find my footing in desperate times. It's important to keep those who disagree with you close, as family.
Let's see you, old friend. Wolves. They've surrounded someone. Must be careful.
I don't deserve this! Leave me! Run!
Galen, you look terrible.
What happened here?
Saxons chased me into the fog, ran me smack into a nest of bandits. But Freya was on my side, and I saw them before they saw me.
Are you the only one of your crew left standing?
I am. And hardly standing myself. But with the blessings of Odin and Freya, they'll be feasting well with the gods.
I feel stronger already.
The beacon has drawn the last of my soldiers. By tomorrow our strength will have returned, and we can retake our city. I have not yet spoken to Leif, Birna and Galin about this. After my missteps, I worry what they must think of me.
It doesn't matter. What matters is how you lead them forward from this point on.
By Thor's hammer, I am glad we're together. In spite of our setback. Galin, you look... well worn. Do not grieve the men you lost. They will be singing your praises in the Corpse Hall, waiting for us.
Thank you, Jarl's Kona.
Leif, you'd outlast any tempest.
It's good to be back, Soma. All as one. And know this, that I will follow you through the eye of the storm if you called.
Birna.
I'm delighted you're alive.
I'm delighted to be living. I lost so many after all this, but I still have you three. That makes me the most blessed warrior in Midgard. And Eivor, you have more than proven your worth. Help us reclaim our city, and you will have an ally in me.
My blade is yours. For Grantebridge.
We'll rest for the night, gather our strength and our wits, and at the break of dawn's light, we retake Grantebridge! Pass the night in our camp, Eivor. Take anything you need.
Looks like more of Soma's forces followed the beacon back to camp. Garland, is that right?
That's right. You are Eivor, the infinite fighter, or forever warrior. It's a glorious name.
Many thanks. You were in a tight spot when we found you.
Indeed. The Saxons pursued me, ran me bloody through the swamps and into the lap of bandits. Then the wolves came. We all have our one day. The day we die. How you greet that day is all that matters. I'm proud to say that I was ready.
Well, it's good to see you breathing still. Leif, Soma says you're the man who built her longships.
That's right. Each has a sharp keel, a stout mast, and a poem etched into the hull to sing the praises of the Dringer who commands her. A longship is heavy with fate. Just a few lengths of wood between you and a watery grave. What better place to put a line of poetry, hmm?
Agreed. It's good to fight beside you, Leif.
Likewise, Eivor. Thanks again for plucking me and my warriors from the mire.
You're Björna.
And you are Eivor's sunbeam. You cut through the fog like the sun burns through ice.
You're in high spirits, all things considered. The ambush, losing your home.
In this moment, yes. But you feel that? The moment has passed. We are free to pursue the next. What a gift!
It's good to have you in this fight, Björna.
I like you, Eivor. You may help me here or step on me, and by the look of you, I'd welcome either.
The day is new and the air is bracing. Are you ready for the fight ahead?
Let's take your city back.
That's what I like to hear. Meet me at the western gate of Grantebridge. We've assembled there.
Have care you do not enjoy taking orders from anyone but your Jarl back home. I fight for Sigurd, none else.
While you're on this ship, Dag, you fight for me, and for Soma's loyalty. We fight for her.
Välkommen efter, styrmare!
You're all.
Hey, hold on you! What are you doing?
Hush now.
Two teams, hidden. One on each side of the door. Move when you get the signal and not a moment before.
Wigman must know we're here.
As he should. I will reason with him. He will reject my offer of peace. Wigmund! Honor thief! I know you're up there. Return Grantbridge to me, Wigmund. No more of our people need die. We may talk this out, lord to lord.
What have we to talk about? You have nothing I need. Worth by birth, heathen. I was born a noble. You were plucked from a giant's armpit.
I built this town. From a mud hut to a thriving port. And we both know you'll bleed those riches dry without my guiding hand.
Leave! Go die in the muck where you belong, heathens!
Wigmund, let's try one final time. Quit Grantbridge. And when she is mine once more, I may spare your life.
Ha! I command Grantbridge. I am master here. And I will scour you rats from this land like rot from a festering wound.
Let me give you some advice, old bear. The surest way to stop a wound from festering isn't with a blade. It's with fire.
I should be cautious around here. Now! Danes of Grantebridgeshire! Retake what is yours!
Grand Bridge. What has Wigman done to her?
No time. We must free her first.
Time will never throw you!
Let's bleed you! God grant me strength!
I haven't seen Wigman since we breached the wall. Regroup at the Longhouse. We'll surely find him there.
My thanks, Eivor. Bleed!
Death for any Saxon!
You damn killer! Die! I'll take you!
The waters have calmed here. Go on. I've weathered the loss of these wells.
Pay for your sins!
Where are you out?
Wigman! You cannot hide from me forever! Come face your death!
Heathen eels! Wigmund is gone! He's gone! You're mine!
Any man who fights for Wigman dies! Any man who fights for Wigman dies!
Firing time! That's not right! Bleed, damn you!
Be wary of tricks. Don't fight.
your plague-ridden body feed my fields. Eivor, to me.
No sign of Wigmund here. He may be hiding within the city walls. Shall we search?
No. He'll be gone, count on it. Arger coward. But we've struck a bold claim today. Walk with me. I want you to sound our battle horn to announce our victory. Let all the Shire know that Grantebridge is retaken. The sound of the horn means prosperity, long life, bounty.
Why me?
Why not? You were the keystone to this attack. You turned the tide. Let the wind from your lungs breathe life back into my city. Look at you all! Warriors! Handsome! Beautiful! Her blood-soaked! Grantebridge is ours once again! Tomorrow, you will stamp out the last of Wigmund's fading fires. But tonight, we feast as gods! Hey! My clan throws the best feasts, I think you'll find. You enjoy yourself?
I did. But were you celebrating or mourning? You looked unsure.
The night of the attack, I heard sounds of bloodshed coming from the Longhouse. In moments, the city was overrun with Saxons, so I called a retreat. We all have our one day, but not like that. Not that day.
I've heard this before. That the Saxons appeared as if from the shadows.
In all my time in Grantebridge, this tunnel was my most careful project. The best kept secret in the city.
Now 100 or more Saxons know the smell of it.
The only people who knew about this tunnel were me, and the 3 in my inner circle.
You believe you were betrayed?
I know I was.
By whom?
That is where I hesitate. Between Leif, Galin, and Birna, I cannot say. But they are the 3 who helped me dig this in secret. I hoped you might lend me your wits. You are a fresh ally. I could use your eyes and ears.
I promised you I'd help secure your city. That task isn't yet done, it seems.
Good. I sent Galin, Leif, and Birna to destroy what remains of Wigmund's power throughout the Shire. Meet with them. Raid with them. Get to know them as best as you can. Find out which of them betrayed me.
You could plan your attack and see if it flushes out the traitor.
Too great a risk. This snake could compromise us at any time. I need clear, sound judgment. I need you, Eivor.
You have me.
Thank you. Feel free to take a look around as you wish. Search the city, the tunnel, and here, a gift. For retaking Grantebridge with us. One of the few things I have left from my blood family.
Soma was smart to build this tunnel. Painted cross. A trail of yellow paint drops. This tunnel leads to the longhouse. A trader marked it with a yellow cross, then opened the way and let them in. The trader must have exited here with a few more, heading away towards the riverbank.
Blasted, cursed, horrible rats!
Tough lands, old man?
Those rats. I tried everything. I poured lye, I harvested locusts, I hired children to kill them. I need an army of miracles.
They are pesky and have ravaged your good crop. Nah, the gods can't get at rats.
Ha! You heathens and your gods! All I want is to rid my field of rats. Feed the fair folk of the Shire.
You need natural warriors to keep them at bay.
My poor fields. God, why did you send so much vermin?
Shoot! Shoot! Stay!
I feel your army of cats have a destiny unrealized. You are a Freya of the Fens.
What? Who the hell is Freya? Is she the whore that tried to eat my cat queen last week?
She's a goddess, much like you, with pious and mighty cats that help her fight. Show your claws, good lady.
Oh yes, mighty. That is what they are. And me, their goddess. If you want, use this key and see for yourself. Ooh, my pretty babies. They should get some air. I guess I am like this Freya you spoke of. I should release them and use them as warriors.
There you are. Head to the fields. Tat-tat. Fight your battle. Cats are sacred beings. They help keep harmony. Your rat problem has been taken care of. Pray to Freya.
I never thought the meow of cats could soothe my soul.
Take this key. In my house, I have some goods. Please, help yourself.
Someone hauled this bucket of yellow paint all the way down to the riverbank. They quickly painted a longship beached here. Then they sailed off, with allies to help crew the vessel.
Eivor!
What do you see?
Sail out!
Hearken well in hall of kings. On ocean's steed my words gain wing. Odin's mead I forth will bring. Noble deeds thine honor sing. The brave man slain Valkyrier way. Reward for strength without her pain. Then horns resound the mighty hall. For those who fight, for those who fall. For those who fight, for those who fall. Warlord weaves his web of fear.
Run up
Each
the
man
sail.
gets his weight and share of blood-red surge the warrior shield.
Sail here, Eivor.
We'll pick up from there. No reason to
Monastery,
sail there.
over there! Sail is ready when needed. No sailing anywhere! Hearken well in Hall of Kings. On ocean steed my words gain wing. Odin's mead I forth will bring.
Drop the match!
For noble deeds thine honor sing. The brave man slain Valkyrier ways. Reward for strain to Valhalla takes.
Fast up!
Then the battlefield.
Can't raise the sail yet.
Shall we raise the sail? Scan the battlefield. The beaten blaze our trail of red, clothing gaze upon the dead, and horns resounds the mighty horn. For those who fight, for those who fall.
Look! Some sort of boat there! Hey! Enemy forces stationed there!
Hearken well in Hall of Kings. On ocean steed my words gain wings. Odin's mead I forth will bring. For noble deeds thine honor. Reward for strain to Valhalla take. Then horns resounds the mighty hall. For those who fight, for those who fall. For those who fight, for those who fall. Warlord weaves his web of fear. Each man
Ready, folks! Fire! Fire! Ready! Fire! 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 Ready! Fire!
Keep away from narrow in the curved back!
Enough of that!
This longship behind us bandits. The survivors ran into the fog, pursued by half the party, while the other bandits looted it. This longship is splashed with yellow paint. Quick job. Why would it be painted a different color than the others? This carving references gallon in verse.
Forum går okkar frækin.
Soma is just cursed with bad luck. Soma has only ever pleased the gods. Deserting her now, breaking your oath, that is what will bring us ill luck. Eivor, I am honored you have joined us.
What's your plan here?
All the Shire support Soma's ruling the city. These hamlets do not. They're feeding and outfitting Wigmund's army. So we will burn their homes, quick and devastating. Like the thunderclaps of Thor.
How did you come to be in Soma's clan?
A vision from Evolva set me on this path. It pricked my mind like a splinter, then faded. But I wanted more. For months, years, I ate only henbane, mushrooms, sacred plants, hoping to see something new. My body dwindled. I lived addled, maddened, a wanderer. Taken in by Saxons and spat out, again and again, until Soma found me, naked and alone in the fens. She clothed and cared for me, humbled as I was. I owe her my life.
Visions can be strange and powerful. What did you see?
I was climbing a mountain, a lion and a snake upon my back, weighing me down. I struggled. Then Soma appeared, and she eased my burden. When we reached the peak, there was hardly enough room to stand. On a point like the tip of a blade, we teetered there, gripping one another, tightly. I know I can seem distant, obsessed, but the gods are with us always. I see it as my duty to shelter Soma from their ire.
What do you think of the others? Leif and Birna?
Leif. He's a talented sailor, if a little enthusiastic. And Birna, well, Birna thinks of life as a grand joke. She was a smuggler when Soma pulled her from the muck, making a living on lies. Birna is part of my clan, and I will fight beside her, irreverent as she is. But she has no care for her destiny.
I'm eager to start throwing torches.
Now let's rid these hamlets of Wickman's rats.
Light your torches and set your arrow tips ablaze, Abel. The red enemy of the branch will make quick work of this place.
We are a curse visited upon them all!
Leave no house unburned.
This is what they get for helping Rand Grand Bridge from Soma.
For licking Alderman Wickman's boots.
Keep your guard up!
inside, idiot! Come, brothers, let's end this. Follow my lead.
Let's try the other way.
Smell of burning roof thatch and a heady tongue fire.
Keep my wits about.
Now that was something. Wickman is sure to take notice.
You stamped and roared like a fiery Surtur himself, marching through the flames of Muspelheim. I'll see you back home, Drenga.
Haven't found anything.
You there, a word.
No shame in being patient.
Time to fight dirt. guessing.
Have your guts out!
Now where did...
A fellow adventurer need to know the lie of the land? Well worth a little silver, I assure you.
Yes, all right.
Right. Let me show you something. On your map.
If only me back wasn't knotted like a dying oak!
You have lost your apples.
But I have. Oh, a devilish wind took me over and I worry for them. But I've saved the finest and the juiciest. Oh, these apples explode in your mouth with the iridescent light of Jesus.
What makes them special? An apple is an apple, no?
Oh, I beg to differ, my friend. You see, every year we make the pilgrimage to the west. Hammer's farm.
Farmer Hammer, to the west.
Yes, we call him the Hammer. And his apples are fine. Have this sweet iron tinge in them. My friends have already made it back. They are surely feasting already, but I fell on some misfortune. My cart busted. Please, send me an angel, my lord.
No one is...
Oh, eternal thanks for carrying the crate.
I would be happy to share in the bounty of these apples with you, once we meet up with your friend.
Oh, surely. We will share the Lord's work with you. The iron tinge, you will taste it. We all have earned it after fasting.
Fasting? Is that when you lack food for your god?
Yes, we show our devotion, remove distraction. But now, we give in to the fruits of our Creator's work. Sharing an apple with a friend is the most sublime experience. Oh.
It is nice to sometimes sit back and simply enjoy an apple.
Well, with our fortune always changing in life, it's important to enjoy simple pleasures. Oh, I am so excited for you to see my friend and eat apples with us. The act of walking, the pilgrimage we're going on. We will prostrate ourselves for Guthlak at the end of this glorious pilgrimage, drown in his reward.
our tiny sanctuary. Join in prayer for the apples, if you like. We bob.
Bob?
It is the only way to piously reap the reward of our Holy Father. Praise be to him.
Ut congregant. Oh, Brother Hawkwolf. And you've made a friend as well. Good to have you back.
What do you see, Sunan? If they see me, this will get messy.
Together, lads, we have this.
I'll get to the bell.
What's my lead?
We have this.
We have this.
We keep our wits about us.
With me, here!
Have the advantage!
behind if you can. Work with me. Your end is nigh. God won't let us lose.
Blindside, idiot!
I'm right busy. Try to flank!
Hey, fellas! What? Biraz edesin? Anlatam. Da 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 da.
hair gets longer, the nails grow, even when the corpse is cold. I've seen it myself.
That's not true.
You think what? There's a bit of life left in someone long dead? No, it's the fumes in the body. Odors grow after a killing, so they have to escape by any means they can. Eivor, my muscle-banded friend! There's a nest of Wigman's men just here. We're going to pick it clean.
Every last one.
The fewer lice in the bush, the less itchy the pussycat. That's how I see it.
How did you come to join Zoma's army?
I'd been in England for ages before Guthrum, Ivar, Ubba, smuggling under the eyes of Saxons and Danes alike. I lied, stole, had my nose broken. Life wasn't easy, but it taught me how to bear the pain. I just laughed it away. When Soma took me in, she saw more than a smuggler in me. I was useful to something greater than myself. Useful to her vision.
In a world where few saw you as worthy of trust, she's one who did.
Right. And I love that about her. I love everything about her.
You seem to bring life and spirit to this clan. Does Soma feel the same?
If I knew what was going on in another person's head, I'd find life dreadful and dull. But Soma seems to enjoy my company.
In what way?
Her own way. Just not in the way I'd like. Painful truths are easy to bear when you can laugh, you see. Delight in the face of suffering is an act of rebellion.
What do you think of Soma's other warriors? Galen and Leaf?
Oh, Leaf's got that raw animal pull. Every time I see him, I want him to climb me like a tree and nest in my armpits. He brays about being honorable, but I've never met a man of honor who starts a fire just to be praised for putting it out. And Galen, he broods like it's an art form. He's got this self-importance that is just so charming.
We could talk all day, but these Saxons may fly from their nest.
You and I should take a closer look. My men will hang back and come running if things go sideways. Fighting beside you should bring a thrill. Happy I can see it up close.
Don't get too close. I might black your eye or bruise your head.
You'd lose your elbow before the bruises showed.
Ergi scum!
You've made more noise than Ragnarok's end. These Saxons still don't see you.
Not everyone is so fox as you.
You're light on your feet and quick through the grass.
Sound carries over snowdrifts. I learned young.
Sneaking in and out of bedroom windows every chance I had.
Into your fate. Knock the idiot down. damn you! Shoot! Shoot!
I'll keep going. Come get your porridge, boys!
Like a lame mule! Watch for my lead! It's a weight, coward!
That's all of them.
Ah, the solitude of after slaughter. Shame about the smell, though. Men shitting themselves.
Aid me. Be my eyes. You fought very well, Björn.
Is that how you flirt, Eivor?
Is that how I what?
Easy now, Drenger. I'll see you back in Grand Bridge.